Looking to part ways with complicated, expensive, and uncertain shipping? Then give your business the edge it needs with USPS Ground Advantage shipping from the United States Postal Service. Keep everything simple with clear, upfront pricing and no unexpected surcharges. Keep things affordable with some of the lowest prices out there. And keep it all reliable with on-time ground shipments. It's time to turn shipping to your advantage. Learn how at USPS.com/advantage. USPS Ground Advantage. Simple, affordable, reliable.
Hey, it's Ryan Reynolds, and I'm here with Keith, co-star of my upcoming film, If, only in theaters May 17th. Do you want to tell people the big news? All right, I'll do it. Sign up now and you'll get unlimited for $15 a month and 6 months of Paramount Plus Essential Plan on us. MintMobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 equivalent to $15 per month. Unlimited over 40 gigabytes per month. Face lower speeds. Videos at 480p. Active Mint customers by 531.24 get 6 months of Paramount Plus Essential Plan. Auto renews after 6 months. Offer ends May 31st, 2024. Separate Paramount Plus registration required. Terms and conditions apply if rated PG.
This is Optimal Finance Daily, episode 2726. What's Probably Missing from Your Financial Plan by Erik Carter of financialfinesse.com. And I'm your host and personal finance enthusiast, Diana Merriam. Now let's jump right into our next post and start optimizing your life. What's Probably Missing from Your Financial Plan by Erik Carter of financialfinesse.com. When people call our financial helpline or schedule a one-on-one consultation, they usually have a particular problem or goal in mind. It might be getting out of debt, knowing whether they're on track for retirement, or dealing with a thorny tax issue. But sometimes we have people that seem to be doing all the right things. They have no high-interest debt. They have more than adequate savings for emergencies. They're saving enough for retirement. They just want to know what they might be missing. Here are the most common holes in people's financial plans. Number 1, life insurance. Too often, people just have whatever their employer provides to them, which is usually equal to their salary. The bad news is that if you need to provide income to dependents, this won't be enough. The good news is that if you're in decent health, a term life insurance policy is relatively cheap. For example, a 40-year-old non-smoking male with average health can purchase $500,000 of life insurance for less than $70 a month in California. The problem isn't that people don't know the importance of life insurance or can't afford it. The problem is that it's too easy to procrastinate. But doing so could mean that deteriorating health makes it unaffordable, or even worse, your family needs it before you purchase it. Number 2, investment diversification. One of the biggest investment mistakes I see is having too much in company stock. This can come about by employees allocating too much of their 401k contributions into their company stock, or because they have options or restricted stock grants that vested and they simply allowed them to accumulate. Either way, having more than 10 to 15% of your portfolio in any one stock is extremely dangerous because unlike the market as a whole, an individual stock can go to zero and never recover. It's even more risky when it's your employer's stock because your job is already tied to your company. Company stock isn't the only way many employees aren't adequately diversified. Many just invest in a stable value fund, maybe some bonds, and large cap US stock funds like an S&P 500 index fund. Other asset classes like international and small cap stocks are significantly underweighted or even completely neglected altogether. This can be a bad idea because those areas may significantly outperform large cap US stocks in the future. In fact, small cap stocks have historically outperformed large cap stocks over long periods of time, and emerging market stocks have been outperforming recently. Of course, there's no guarantee that these trends will continue, but that's why it makes sense to have some eggs in all of these baskets. Number 3, umbrella liability insurance. This little-known type of insurance covers you in case of a lawsuit that exceeds the coverage provided by your regular auto and renters or homeowners policies. It can be especially important for anyone whose assets make them a target, but your future income could be attacked too. It generally only costs $100 to $200 for that extra peace of mind. Number 4, long-term care insurance. Just as we don't like to think about death, we don't like to think about having to spend time in a nursing home someday. But if we live until age 65, the odds are more likely than not of needing long-term care at some point in our lives. Since Medicare doesn't really cover it, you'd have to rely on Medicaid, which requires you to spend down pretty much all of the assets you've built up over your entire life in order to be eligible. That means not having long-term care insurance can effectively erase all the good saving and investment decisions you made. To avoid purchasing too little or too much insurance, see if your state offers a long-term care partnership program. If you buy a policy through one of these programs and use up all the benefits, you can qualify for Medicaid while still keeping an amount of assets equal to the insurance coverage you purchased. And number 5, estate planning. Estate planning documents like a will, advanced healthcare directive, and power of attorney allow you to make financial and health decisions or empower someone else to for a time when you're unable to, either through death or incapacitation. Once again, this is another topic we'd all like to avoid, and once again, this could be a big mistake. Imagine your family fighting over medical decisions for you, or over who should inherit what asset, or having to wait for months and pay thousands of dollars in legal fees while your estate goes through probate. Fortunately, you can get most of the basic documents done at little cost. However, you may want to have an attorney at least look them over to make sure there are no costly mistakes. Depending on your state, you may also be able to avoid probate on your bank accounts with a POD, or payable on death designation, and on investment accounts, vehicles, and real estate with a TOD, or transfer on death registration. Otherwise, you may want to hire an estate planning attorney to draft a trust. While these topics may not seem as urgent as paying down debt, saving for retirement, and reducing your taxes, they can be the most important part of your financial plan when you need them. The problem is that if you don't have them by then, it'll be too late. What are you waiting for? You just listened to the post titled, "What's Probably Missing from Your Financial Plan?" by Erik Carter of financialfinesse.com. And I'll be right back with my commentary. Looking to part ways with complicated, expensive, and uncertain shipping? Then give your business the edge it needs with USPS Ground Advantage shipping from the United States Postal Service. Keep everything simple with clear, upfront pricing and no unexpected surcharges. Keep things affordable with some of the lowest prices out there. And keep it all reliable with on-time ground shipments. It's time to turn shipping to your advantage. Learn how at USPS.com/advantage. USPS Ground Advantage. Simple, affordable, reliable. If you've been using Mint to manage your finances, I've got some bad news. Mint is shutting down. But now for the good news. There's a better alternative. Our sponsor, Monarch Money. Mint users are turning to Monarch Money and loving it. Maybe you're saving for a down payment, a wedding, a dream vacation, your kid's college. I've found that Monarch makes it so easy to help you reach your financial goals, whatever they are. I definitely wouldn't be able to allocate my finances or plan as clearly without help from Monarch. In fact, Monarch is the top-rated all-in-one personal finance app. It gives you a comprehensive view of all of your accounts, investments, transactions, and more. Create custom budgets, set goals, and collaborate with your partner. And now get an extended 30-day free trial when you go to monarchmoney.com/OFD. After trying out Monarch for myself, I understand why it's the top-rated personal finance app. And right now, get an extended 30-day free trial when you go to monarchmoney.com/OFD. That's monarchmoney.com/OFD for your extended 30-day free trial. Another thing that might be missing from your financial plan is considerations around aging parents. As our parents get older, their needs can change, and those changes often come with a price tag. You might find yourself shelling out for things like medical bills, home modifications, or even assisted living expenses. Plus, if you're stepping up as a caregiver, that could mean cutting back on work hours or even quitting your job altogether, which can put a dent in your own savings and retirement plans. Then there's the long-term care factor. It's not cheap, and if your parents don't have a plan in place for it, you might feel the need to help find a solution. On top of all of that, there's the whole financial management side of things. As your parents age, they might need a hand with things like managing their money or navigating government benefits. It's not just about writing checks, it's about making sure they're taken care of financially in the long run. So while it might not be the most exciting part of financial planning, considering your aging parents is all about being prepared for whatever life throws your way. That brings us to the end for today, though. Thanks so much for listening all the way through, and I'll see you tomorrow where your optimal life awaits.